और एक रश आएगा 6 10 तक। चलो, लेट अस अलाउ देम। मालूम के फॉर अलाउ वी जस्ट नीड टू, मैं वो कर दे रहा हूँ, ठीक है? स्टार्ट करूँ?
Yeah,
इन
I've already admitted. Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. We're just waiting for people to join in. Allow me a minute in here, please. Thank you. So while people are joining in, let's watch a small video and until we all settle down and get ready for the evening.
House is made for children, but designed for you. We empower teachers and parents of children ages 0 to 6 with research-backed resources, trainings, and professional development. With the We Schoolhouse membership, access our complete library of hundreds of early childhood resources created to support your work with children every day. This library is ever growing, with new content added monthly. You'll enjoy unlimited access to resources on topics such as brain and body development and concepts of play, setting up your learning environment, how to best navigate and support social and emotional growth and learning, and common but sometimes challenging behaviors, nutrition and feeding, sleep, toileting, and physical care, and fostering stronger partnerships between families, teachers, co-teachers, and school administration. For example, in the Curriculum and Learning Design module, get access to schedule guidance for the home and classroom, and download ready-made and flexible learning investigations that will help streamline your planning and implementation of curriculum. You'll also find insights on different progressive learning models and tools for observation and documentation. In our Invitations and Activities module, you'll find learning packets of all different themes, such as investigations in water play, lights and shadows, literacy, and STEAM. Each packet includes an introduction to the study or area of learning, loads of guidance on how to support it, and investigations and provocations to inspire and spark curiosity, wonder, and learning. Deepen your understanding of knowledge of early childhood with flexible training options led by early childhood experts, and show off your learning with professional development certification included in each membership. Individual memberships can be purchased on a monthly plan or save by registering for an annual plan. School memberships are our most heavily discounted and cover membership for your entire team of educators. Your membership pays for itself with professional learning and certification, and professional learning empowers staff, meaningfully enhancing their practice and impacting the children and improving teacher retention. With the We Schoolhouse membership, save time and feel prepared. No more last-minute planning or overwhelm. Access ready-to-use guides, activities, and schedules made for real-life classrooms and homes. And feel confident, backed by research. Our tools are rooted in brain science and best practice, so you know that what you're doing is actually helping the children grow. Sign up today with a 14-day money-back guarantee and the freedom to cancel at any time.
Thank you so much for joining in this evening. Hello, my name is Malavika. Good evening to all of you. Happy New Year for the people we're meeting for the first time in the month of January. I represent a company, I and my entire team represent a company called India Market Entry. And this particular training session, webinar, or an insightful, detailed discussion about Reggio, whatever you may call it, it has been organized by Knotral Training. And we are proud to have you with us this evening. We have our guest as well. We have our host as well. So let's begin. We're just waiting for other people to join in. So there's a few thumb rules before we kickstart the presentation for the evening. I'll walk you through to certain slides to understand, and obviously to understand more about you, who you are, where are you from. We would love to know that, so we can align and customize the entire webinar and the training program for you. Apart from that, we will walk you through to the Skoolhouse platform, a little bit of what exactly it has to present. That would be led by Sonal. And at the end of the session, it would be an open Q&A session to clarify all your doubts that can be related to early years education, that can be related to your Reggio Emilia, exposure, or anything which is pertaining to the Skoolhouse platform. So let's kickstart before, without delaying further. Okay, here you go. So this presentation or this initiative, the entire evening has been planned by Knotral, and we are talking about Reggio Emilia transforming early education, obviously early childhood education. In India, we all know that now with NEP kicking in, there's a lot of, I would say, standardization which is happening by all the initiative by government, by the central government, and obviously there are other bodies who also work functionally in India. There are certain methods and ways that we actually conduct our early years. Certain are governed by the state government, certain are through international bodies, and some are by CBSE, ICSE, and so far so. And this Skoolhouse, our platform, is inspired thoroughly by Reggio Emilia. It is a very, very old concept, very, very, I would say, innovative ways of actually getting exposure into early childhood education. If you know about Reggio, you must actually Google and see, what and how the history started in. We will talk about the key features in Skoolhouse. So what you get in the platform, or what it consists of, it's 500 and plus activities. Now there are two type of activities that you will be, witnessing. One are, these are ready-made curriculums, or ready-made, I would say, activities that can be theme-wise, that can be monthly, however you want to plan and execute in your regular curriculum. And some are bite-sizes programs. So those programs can be run for a week, can be just one class in a week, or maybe just a section that you want to expose the kids to. Topics like rainbows, waters, outdoor exploration, everything has been covered. We will see them in detail while we proceed further towards our end of our session. Of course, it is aligned to NEP 2020, because if anybody focuses on what NEP 2020 guidelines, which has been again renewed and makes certain changes in 2025, especially pertaining to early years, is experiential learning. See, we all, we come from an education background. We are somehow attached to the education industry. Maybe we are a teacher, we are a publisher, we are a distributor, we are running a preschool. We would like to start a preschool. Any direct or indirect connections in the education industry, especially in the early years, those are the most critical years that are not very, I would say, paid attention so far, which over the period of time now people are realizing that it is the most critical years which needs to be addressed. So kids, facing some kind of confidence issues, some are not able to talk, some not able to open, socializing being a big challenge, especially after COVID. And I'm sure all of you, experience it. Kids love to stay aloof, spend time on phones, watching TVs, and, digital gadgets are their best friend compared to they actually go out and mingle with their other friends. So those all things are, obviously, it will not happen overnight. It's a gradual transition that we all together as a community, as teachers, as parents, as caregivers, we can slowly, gradually actually inculcate all these practices in them. And what Reggio or Skoolhouse does is, it has actually curated and designed in such a fashion that it actually helps you to keep, I would say, the discipline, the track, what you're supposed to do on a daily basis. We'll see through classroom setup as well. And of course, School also has a lot of features which is revolving around teachers training and certifications. Moving on, a little bit of history. So in 1800s, the traditional teaching, we all know that it was only teacher-centered approach. And it was obviously focused on discipline and memorization. So we know what was rote learning and how typically it worked. And again, in early 1900s, the child development research started, the recognition in play, and what is the significance of play, the significance of outdoor exploration, the significance of how socializing in child can actually help them to be a better, confident individual rather than somebody not getting, obviously the exposure. Then again, certain feedback or over the period of time research kicked in, and then we started with multiple intelligence and brain developed researched. Now, this is one of the most critical thing that I have witnessed. I have been associated with Skoolhouse for quite some time now. And what I've seen in throughout end to end, what we have taken care is 5 major skills that we take care, which is the brain development, physical development, your cognitive skills, your fine motor skills, and language and communication. And of course, socio-emotional factor is also there. So these are the 5 brain development research, which is very, very critical at the initial years from which we have kicked in. Now it has advanced. Now today we call it as a neuroscience insight and child as protagonist. Moving on to the evolution of child of development, let me just quickly launch a poll. Okay, if I'm going too fast, please do put in your chat and let me know if you want me to slow down, because there is a lot to cover and I'm just kind of rushing through the initial slides. So I'm really sorry about that. But there's a quick poll that I want to launch, and I want everyone, each one of you to participate to know where exactly and where your journey has started. Now, if the question says where are you in your teaching journey? So is it in traditional methods, transitioning to new approaches, or exploring child-led learning, already implementing changes, or if you're looking for any kind of a changes? So these are the 5 options which is there. Thank you so much for the active participation. I request all of you to participate on this so we can customize and we can help you understand more, and we can address your concerns according to your polls and your answers in there. We have only 50% participation now. Kindly go ahead and please do put your vote. We have a tie between so far exploring child-led learning and already implementing changes. That's fabulous. Teachers, I think internet is blessing. Google is a blessing for all of us, wherein we get to expose, or the exposure to all kind of implementations of, learning pedagogies around the world. And I love the enthusiasm of all the teachers, educators, to see what's trending, what's good, what's new, what's happening. All right, few more seconds to go. Kindly put in your vote in there. There are very few who says traditional method. And let me just end the poll for you. Okay, so the clear winner are 2, which is exploring child-led learning and already implementing changes. Thank you so much for that inputs. Moving on to the next slide. So in modern education philosophies, you guys are in a better position to understand, and I'm sure you have done a bit of your research, and most of you are already exposed to these kind of pedagogies, which we are currently very, very popular in India. One is Montessori. Of course, we all know that what Maria Montessori has to offer. So structured, independent, prepared environment, and of course, individual progress. So most of our, I would say preschool sections are governed by Montessori in India at the moment. Just a moment, yeah. Oops, okay. And second is Waldorf, which is again getting very, very, very popular in India, which has holistic development, artistic expression, and of course, the tons and tons of nature-based learning. The third, and what we are representing today, is Reggio Emilia. Now, Reggio Emilia has certain own characteristics and features which makes it stands out and exceptionally amazing. I can vouch and I can tell you from all the pedagogies that I have seen, very recently, Reggio is one which is still very, very open-ended. Nobody can say that I know it all. You cannot say that because it's progressive and it's very, very creative. And day by day, what I see, there is a lot of changes, there's a lot of implementation which is happening, which is in the best interest for the child and also for the teachers and the parents. Of course, environment as a teacher is a very, very important role that Reggio says and talks about, and documentation based. So what you can't measure, you can't treasure. So basically, how is the child performing at the beginning of their academic year, and how the child is doing towards the end of academic year, this documentation plays a very, very vital role. Okay, I'm just trying to change on to my next slide. Moment here. Okay, so here we go. We have one more last poll. I'm really sorry, but I promise this is the last one. And this one will help us to actually understand how and what exactly it indicates in terms of your interests. So let me just launch the poll without delaying further. Oopsie doopsie, just give me a moment. I'm still stuck with the last one. Just allow me a second. Technologies, okay, yeah. Okay, it doesn't allow me to, hey. I'm learning. Sorry about that. And here you go. I just launched the second poll, the last one for the evening. Please go ahead and fill this out. So which approach interests you the most? Montessori elements, Waldorf aspects, Reggio Emilia principles, blended approach, okay, and traditional methods. We have very few people who have actually voted for traditional methods. Most of them, I see blended approach and Montessori elements is your style. There are very few people left to participate. It's only 50% so far. I would request all of you to go ahead and participate actively on this one. So Sonal, this is a cue for you. So you see a lot of people are actually looking at blended approach is what they are using at the moment. All right, so we can end that. Thank you so much for those inputs. It's really, really helpful. And thank you for bearing with me. And I'm just trying to, get technology savvy. Sorry about that. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Just a second. All right, so moving on to the next one. So what your expectations or what we will cover this evening for you to understand, which is the actual part of this evening webinar or a training session, if you may call it. So what we will do is we will understand what is Reggio Emilia, what is a practical implementation, which I know, which is your absolute keen core interest, and of course the transformation pathway. These would be critical things that we'll be covering. Of course, we will address to all the questions that you have and we will love to, take that forward. So before delaying further, and I will just, hand over to Sonal. So Sonal Pawaiya is our, host of the evening, or I would say hero of the evening. She comes with immense experience and exposure all throughout her, career. She has been working with early years for more than 15 years now. And yes, she is certified in Reggio Emilia pedagogy, and she works exclusively for consulting for Indian preschools for innovative learning and models. So thank you so much for, listening and being patient with me. And I will hand over to Sonal for taking this forward. Sonal, over to you.
Thank you so much, Maulabika. Okay, good evening, one and all. So it's time for us to explore about Reggio Emilia philosophy. Okay. So I'm glad to see so many curious educators are here to know more about Reggio Emilia philosophy. Before going ahead, let me give you a quick introduction about Reggio Emilia. Philosophy. Actually, this philosophy was developed and designed after World War II by the parents and educators. Special mention, Loris Malaguzzi. He was an educator, psychologist who thought that we can develop a curriculum where children can develop their creative thinking skills, and that is going to bless the future of the world. So yes, here is Reggio Emilia philosophy in front of you, which is also called as a progressive approach in early childhood education. Again, I'm going to ask you a question because I want to know more. What comes to your mind when I mention early childhood education? I am waiting for your answer in the chat box. What comes to your mind when I mention early childhood education? Okay. Brain stimulation, curious mind. Thank you so much. Still waiting. Pre-primary, scaffolding of foundation years, early year stage, play, teaching tiny tots, creativity and curiosity, fun way, method way of teaching, play and joy, holistic brain development, play way method. Wow. Kudos to all those who have shared their views that what is early childhood education. Yes, it is a blend of all this, developing skills, exploring and learning. Fabulous. Teaching playway minds. Superb. With this beautiful sharing, let's start our session. As I said, there is a man behind Reggio Emilia philosophy, who is Loris Malaguzzi. What he want to say on this? Child-centered of a learning. Stand aside for a while and leave a room for learning. Observe carefully what children do. And then, if you understood well, perhaps teaching will be different from before. So according to him, child have so much potential. They are confident, they are curious. So he made a philosophy. He really want to redesign early childhood education. So let's see, according to him, what is this philosophy? I call this as C4 plus ED. Yes, to remember Reggio Emilia philosophy, please make note. The principle is C4 plus ED. What are the C4? Number one, image of the child. The first C is the child, image of the child. Number two, that is the number second C, teacher as co-learners. Number three, collaboration and the community. Fourth C is the emergent curriculum. Then comes E, that is the role of the environment, which is also called as the third teacher in Reggio Emilia philosophy. Last but not the least, it's documentation. So today we are going to explore all the 6 principles, which is called as C4 plus ED. And I now know that you are also going to remember this C4 plus ED philosophy. So let's explore. Before exploring, again, I'm going to ask you a question because I want to know from you, what do you think the term image of a child means to you? Image of a child means to you. I'm waiting for your answer in the chat. Waiting for your answer in the chat. What do you mean by image of a child? Fantastic. Wow. Okay. Every child is different. Innocence, curious mind, behavior, the way he or she behaves, how much a child can understand, child's identity, submissions, understanding about the child, innovators, curiosity, individuality, the way how they react, how the child thinks, image of a child, innocent, curious, and full of energy. Fabulous. Commendable, Amrita ma'am. Means how we perceive and understand children. Wonderful, super, Pooja ma'am. Attributes, lovely Garima ma'am, a happy and a joyful child personality, child perspective, superb Rumi ma'am. Uniqueness of a child, yes Tarunnu ma'am, wonderful. Child as a person, the perspective is quite different. Yes, Sakshi ma'am, it's correct. Yes, fabulous. Oh my God, when we say child, so many things are there. Abilities of individual, innocence, lovely. The thought pattern of a child, individuality of a child, superb. So the word child means so much for all of us, correct? So let's see what creativity, yes, thinking of an inner child. Oh my God, there are so much about child. So let's see what Reggio Emilia philosophy want to say about a child. So here we see image of a child according to Reggio Emilia philosophy is children are capable, they are curious, they are confident, they are competent with themselves, no comparison or no competition with someone else. They are themselves competitors of themselves, okay? They are active learners, not passive receptors, okay? That we are giving them instruction to do their work. No, no, no. They are active learners. They learn by exploring. And the most important part, 100 languages of children. And did we steal 99 of them? Yes, this is a metaphor used for children because children loves and express through verbal and non-verbal ways. So 100 language, it's a core learning and more depth about Reggio Emilia philosophy that we will cover in some of our other session. That's why Albert Einstein elegantly said that the highest form of research are 100 languages. Yes. So as we all shared that children have got so much potentials. Okay. So much potential children are having. This is how the child should be portrayed. Okay. So this curriculum keeps separate children as capable, curious, active learners and 100 languages they express themselves. Okay, so we came to know about the philosophies. First C about the image of a child. Now second C for us. Teachers. What is the role of a teacher? What do you say? What do you think? What is our role as a teacher? So eagerly waiting for your answer. What is our role as a teacher? Okay, teachers as co-learners. Fantastic. Yes, it is Reggio Emilia. Facilitators. Observers, fabulous. Sangeeta ma'am, Bhavna ma'am also, Aisha ma'am. Let the children express, yeah. Observer and supporter, fantastic Radha ma'am. Namrata ma'am, guiding lights. Yes, we are co-learners, Navya ma'am, that's correct. We are observers. Yes, Rumi ma'am, we are facilitators. We are the one shaping minds, correct, in a positive environment. Okay, so many you. We are mentors. We help the children to learn and have fun. We are role models. Yes. Molding children behavior towards learning and experience. Giving voices scaffolding. Okay. And giving them an experiential learning. Helping in their learning journey. We are the adults to assist, inspire them. We are partners. We are mentors, guides. Accept them, but not judgmental. Yes, correct. Sai ma'am, you're right. We should never be judgmental. Providers of the third environment, okay. Create stimulating environment. Fabulous, kudos to all. Yes, this is our role. So now, as per Reggio Emilia philosophy, teachers are co-learners. Yes, teachers as co-learners. What does that mean? Let me explain you. We should always honor children's perspective. Let me give you an example for this. When I was working with a renowned organization as a headmistress, I was on a round and we had a practice that month end, we used to have a field trip. And after field trip, the immediate next day, we used to give children sheets to draw whatever field trip they have visited, or the whole month, whatever they have experienced. So we really want to check children that what they have understood about the topic. So I remember that month we had a topic of vegetables and fruits, and our field trip was on farm. So next day, as usual, we gave papers to children, and children were drawing in all the classrooms, that is in senior KG, junior KG, and our preschoolers, all preschoolers, we gave that. So this is an incident of a junior KG child, that is LKG child. So child drew a black color apple. So I saw that, what is this? And teacher, she was a trained teacher. So without being judgmental, as Sai ma'am said very well, that a teacher should never be judgmental. She respected the perspective of the child. She asked the child that, I'm not going to take the name of the child. And she asked that, what you have drawn this? Is it a fruit? I think so, it's a fruit. Yes, teacher, it's a fruit. And teacher said, which color you have colored? Teacher, it's black color apple. So she and me, we both were looking each other, why the child have drawn black color. Without being judgmental, that child don't know that apples are red in color or green in color. We patiently waited for the child response. Teacher said that, where you have seen this black apple? Teacher, yesterday my mama was cleaning refrigerator and she took out this smelly black apple. Oh, so teacher introduced a vocabulary to the child. Oh, that was a rotten apple? Yeah, teacher, it was a rotten apple. So, and it was smelling very badly. Teacher said, oh, see, yesterday we went to the field trip also, and yesterday the child observed that mama was cleaning her refrigerator and the apple came. So the child correlated both the things. So here children are expressing what they know about the fruits and vegetables. So see how the all the incidents are related to this. So being a trained teacher, she didn't came to the judgment that child knew about the color of an apple or not. She introduced the vocabulary also. So we should always respect the perspective of the children. Okay, because learning is just like a circle. It keeps on going. So teacher should always be open to learn that from where the children are coming and what are their perspective. So it's our mindset which really plays an important role. When we say we are teachers, we are educators, we are early childhood educators, that means we should have an open mindset that learning is a process of going. We should always value the unique insight of children. Yes, even in my chat, one of the teacher shared that unique insight. I really appreciate that teacher over here, that every child have a different thought process. They are coming from different environment. Okay, so we should respect that. We should be always responsive, attentive. Now, responsive and attentive, this is really this plays a very important role. Responsive because that 3 hours, 3.5 hours, when the children are there with us, that preschool children are there with us, at that time, there are so many things going on. So I really advise you all to have a piece of diary with you so that you can jot down any specific information which you got, because most of the time we forget. Okay, so when children are asking, when you observe something, so teacher should be very responsive. They should mention that will help us to make our authentic anecdotes that I'm going to discuss at the end. Okay, we have to be very attentive what children are speaking, what they're expressing, what are their likes and what are their unlikes. So that will really help us for assessing the children where their strong points and where we can work on. Last but not the least, this philosophy says that children should always groom themselves. Teachers professionally, because when I'm saying I'm an early childhood educator, or I am a Reggio Emilia certified trainer, that means I'm still studying. Okay, it's not that I know everything. Every day I learn so many things from my children, from the experiences. I learn from so many things from the team. I learn, and as Molovika very well said, that we are blessed. We are in the Chat GPT world. Okay, so this is really helping us to grow, to get more knowledge. So we should groom ourselves because we are dealing with generation beta now. Okay, so to be on that part, we have to upgrade ourselves. We have to professionally work on ourselves first. Okay, so that was a role of a teacher as a co-learner. Now, next question for all of us. Who all are accountable for the development of children? What do you think? Only teachers are accountable, or anybody else is accountable for the development of children? So eagerly waiting for your answers. Okay, environment, parents and school, environment, ecosystem, environment, parent and teachers, grandparents too, parents, fellow students, parent family members, parent teachers, principal students, teachers and parent as a team, home and school environment, wonderful, environment, peer, teacher, parents, everyone around children, wonderful Radhika ma'am, family, environment, guardians, family, school, all stakeholders. Yes, parent, teacher, environment, beautiful Sakshi ma'am. Rupali ma'am, parents and teachers, parent, teachers and the environment in collaboration. Yes, everyone involved with the child daily, each child, each one of us, friends, family, nature, teacher, community, society. Okay, so here we got the answer that if all stakeholders, I'm going to take that word, all stakeholders. Now, who all are the stakeholders? Fabulous. Yes, when we say all stakeholders, that means our third C's, that is collaboration and the community. Collaboration. Now, as in the starting, I said that environment is the third teacher. So who is the first and the second teacher? Parents and teachers are partners. So nobody is first or second in that. Parents and teachers are partners. Okay. So it's a debatable topic. That's why parents or teachers are not given first or second in this philosophy. Most important thing is children learn from everywhere. It's not about the dedicated classroom. Let's take our children to field trips. Let's take them. Sometime you can make them stand in front of a window so they can explore the wonders and beauty, right? Children can learn from their family values. We can invite parents. We can invite parents, professional parents also, so they can come and discuss with them how is their journey, how they are working. So children are going to learn from them also. Friends, let's give time for them. One day, just give them time. Let's chit chat. Let's start talking. So they will share each other. They are going to learn from each other. Community, yes, we can take help of various community helpers. We can invite them so that the children can learn from them. Now, what this partnership is going to help? Yes, it is going to provide an enriching learning experience for children, because children are curious learners. So they will learn from everyone, from their friends, from their family members, from the community helpers, from the teachers, from the other people who are visiting their school. Support children, and this is going to support children holistic development. Yes, the overall development of the child will be groomed with collaboration and the community. Then comes the fourth C. Before that, I have a question for you. Do you believe that a flexible curriculum can better cater to children's individual needs? Okay, the question is, do you believe that a flexible curriculum can better cater to children's individual needs? So I'm eagerly waiting for your answer. Yes, no doubt. Fantastic. So confident. Absolutely. Superb. Yes, 100%. Kudos to all that. Yes, I can say that we all are ready for generation beta to teach, because we all agree that it is important that curriculum must be flexible, because every child is unique. Fabulous. Yeah, that's why Loris Malaguzzi said that the curriculum must be an emergent curriculum. What does this term mean? Let me explain you. Child-centered. Child-centered means the curriculum is totally tailored according to the child interest, because children are confident. Yes, they are inbuilt confident child. Then how we make the children, how what experience we are giving, then the confidence level changes. But inborn, they are confident, they are creative, they are curious. That's why the curriculum must be as per the interest of the child. If a child loves to do something, the curriculum says that give lots of exposure to the child, so that the child discovers, invent new things. Okay. Second, the curriculum, this emergent curriculum must be highly actively making children engaging, rather than perceive that they are just as a receptors, whatever we are speaking, a big no. Children must be actively engaging in the curriculum. The curriculum must be flexible and responsive. Now, let me add one thing to that. Indian curriculum is based usually on academics, right? So we can blend that part, because Reggio Emilia, it is a flexible curriculum. It gives a child-centered curriculum. Let children explore. No books are there in that. No particular that this much portion to be completed. It's totally dependent that what child love. Because if child loves something, we go deep dive into that and they learn so many things. That's why it is said that it's a tailor made curriculum. You might have observed in your classroom, there are children like explorer who might be asking you too many questions. Teacher, why you are doing this, why that? Correct? Now remember the names or remember the faces. Those are your explorers, those who ask questions. There are children in your class who are researchers. Means those children who always have too many feedbacks for you. Yes, and there might be some children in your classroom who are designers, who make protocol types. Okay, so a classroom is full of researchers, explorers, and designers. When these all comes together with emergent curriculum, what happens? The children becomes problem solvers. And at the end, the children not only solve the problem, they discover their own personality, that who they are and what they love. Here, the role of teacher comes again, because teacher give information to the children, and the children absorb all the information, and teacher take it back in terms of inquiry. She inquires from the children, so that the overall growth, the holistic growth of children happens. Okay, so this is the role, how the children, how the teacher, and how the curriculum, emergent curriculum, image of a child, teachers as co-learners, and emergent curriculum, when they all come together, children grows and they learn who they are. They accept their unique identity. Okay, which at the end helps children to collaborate. Means they start doing, because the whole curriculum asks us project-based learning. Okay, so projects are given, so children collaborate, because they want to learn more on that part. They want to share their views, and explorer, researchers, and designers, they all make a beautiful project which we have never thought of, where the communication skills also develop and social skills also grow. This promotes, which is a sentence by Loris Malaguzzi, that he had a vision that the curriculum must promote the critical thinking and problem solving approach. Okay, so the main thing of that which promotes a lifelong learning. As I said that learning is a circle, it keeps on going. So it is helping the children to grow in all the directions. Again, one more question for you before going ahead. What role does the environment plays in a child development? Yes, we know it's a third teacher, but what do you think? What its role? Why it is important? Environment. Why the and what is the role of the environment? Okay, enhancing thinking. Environment helps kids to explore and experience. It gives opportunities to learn. Yes, Vijay ma'am. Explore the world. Okay, learning from things around. Stimulant. Fantastic, Maria ma'am. I'm waiting for more answers. Opportunities to learn and explore. Integrated learning. Fabulous. Yes, real life connect. Fantastic. Essential for holistic development. Environment shapes how children learn, interact, visual, auditory, culture, life skills, social, emotional skills as well. Yes, I agree with you. Environment as an opportunity, perfecto, wonderful. Yes, inquiry-based learning, exploring. Yes, yes, it is, Rumi ma'am. Collaborative consciousness. Yes, it is. It's a life skill. Immersion learning. It develops curiosity, exploring, forming connection. Fabulous. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me inputs that what is the role of environment. I really appreciate. So the role of environment. Now here, physical environment as third teacher, we all know that. Incorporating open-ended and natural materials. Now, open-ended means provoking material should be given. That's like stones, bark, tree barks we can give to children. We can give leaves to the children. We can ask children to stand when it's raining in front of a window so that they can see the wonders. Okay, so here, when I say about open-ended, means a provoking material where children are curious to ask you questions. Okay, because then that inquiry will be get generated. The children want to know more about that, which helps curiosity, creativity, and inquiry. And that will help children to explore, discover, and the engagement will happen. Because we never know that with 2-3 stones, what we can do. Children can form patterns also. Children can play. They can make a stack of that. We never know what children will come up with, what's going on in their mind. So that is the best way the child learns through environment. Through field trips, again, we have to take our children out. Nature walk, we can make them, let them experience that without shoes, when they stand on the grass, how they feel. So it's all about experiencing the nature. When you take your children in front of a window, sunlight is coming, you can ask them that peekaboo, you can play with your children, you can have a shadow game. So many things are there. You can have a glass of water and experiment that rainbow is forming, why it is forming, what is the reason behind that. So there are so many things that nature can teach. It's not about big experiments which we are talking about. We are talking about small experiences which develop curiosity in children. Now, most important part, the D, documentation. Does documentation matters? Do you really think documentation matters? And if it matters according to you, what is the role of documentation? Exactly, yes, it matters. Of course, it matters. Yes, documentation matters a lot. To know children better, child progress, to track, okay, reflection and analysis. Yes. Wonderful to hear. Oh, wow, evidence. Yes, evidence of learning. Evaluate the progress. Make learning visible. Perfecto. Yes. Documentation really plays an important role. How we can collect it? Through photographs, through video recordings, anecdotal notes. sample of child's work. Whatever they are drawing, whatever they are expressing, whatever they're writing, we can have the dialogues over there. We can display them through documentation panels. And most importantly, collecting all of the data from the day one till the PTM, quarterly PTMs, and finally year end, we can collect all the data and we can share the parent that this is the journey of your child. Day when the child was not able to draw the flower properly, now year end, not only the child is drawing the flower, but also he's able to recognize and he has correlated the incidents over there, that wherever he have seen which type of flower. This was just an example for you. So documentation, really, really important to track the progress of a child. Thank you so much. I think this session has given you lots of insight about the Reggio Emilia philosophy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Maulabika.
Thank you so much, Sonal. I think I got a good tour of what Reggio has to offer and how it is different and significant. I think what we all miss out, that we always look for bigger things in life and we miss out on the small, minute detailing, especially in the early childhood. I think every step a kid does, every drawing, every word, and every expression means a lot and matters a lot. I think Reggio, I would say, justifies and validates that. So I think that's the uniqueness of this particular curriculum. And as Sonal said correctly, that it is still emerging. We're all still learning. Nobody can say that I know it all. I'm still part of the learning curve. So moving on without delaying further, we have just more couple of slides to cover. And then we will talk about obviously how you can actually get the certified and so on and so forth. Just a moment in here. So as I told earlier when we started off the call, obviously the people who've joined in late, you're missed out. So what we Skoolhouse, the parent company is called Manhattan Preschool Chain. They are physically located and based out of Manhattan. And we Skoolhouse, an extended version, it's a SaaS-based platform, which has a global presence. Now, they have two-parter in it. One is they are offering curriculum. So it's an annual subscription that you can, certify, you can get, you can implement those curriculum on a real-time basis in your school. If you are, you're actually taking care of your child and doing homeschooling, whatever and whoever you are, it is applicable to you. So classroom-based environment and of course, home-led as well. The other part of what Reggio precises or what WeSchool has to offer is the training. Now, this is very, very, very critical. When you want to kickstart anything, you should have the base absolutely, strengthened enough for you to implement and to understand, and of course, to execute in a real time in a classroom. So what we have to offer is an asynchronous training. Asynchronous means these are pre-recorded trainings, which are there, they are recorded. So all you have to do is just, sign up. You have to go through the training program. You watch those videos, followed by question answers, followed by a small test, which will obviously get you a reward of a certification. It is an international recognition, which obviously has earned your credentials after the learning review. And this particular training program covers three-parter. One is the intro, the second is the child, and the third is the environment. Which Sonal has already given you the intro and the child and the environment part of it. It's an elaborative training done by the experts. And obviously they are from the industry who will help you to understand more in depth, precisely pertaining and related to your Skoolhouse journey. And then you can go ahead with a certificate. So on the right-hand side, if you are watching the screen, you have the sample of the certificate. This is how typically it looks like. And the second part is your exclusive offer. What you can do is you can go ahead and actually get this at 2,555. So that's 2,555 is the price of this particular certification course. So what you can do is, my colleague Ayan is putting this link on the chat. You can just click in there, you can fill out the form, and then you can directly go and sign up. Now this has a validation, this has a validity of an entire year. Obviously, the videos are not downloadable, but you can always go back and watch and refer. So it has unlimited access for you to go ahead and complete it. Also, there is no hurry in a completion, so you can do it one at a time at your pace. You can complete it over the weekend, next month, whenever time permits, because we all understand that you're pretty occupied with your current commitments of your school, education, household chores, and whatever you're doing at the moment. So that's one part of, please go ahead and click on the link. And the second is, if you are interested to know how you can collaborate with Skoolhouse, if you're interested to implement your curriculum, our curriculum in your school, or if you are looking to explore, or maybe you blend it with your current curriculum, because blending is also a very, very good option, which we have seen in the poll earlier that we did. So that is also applicable, which you can definitely explore. Now we open the floor for question and answers. Before we do that, please do click on the link. So we do have your information that we can capture, and we can always get back to you. So now we open the floor for the questions. You can type in your questions on the chat box, or if you want to unmute yourself, please do so. Let me just make the changes on the host part. So yeah, you should be able to unmute yourself if you have any questions. I and Sonal would love to answer and address those for you. Yes, we do see Vijay Lakshmi, ma'am. Do you have any questions, ma'am? No, okay, cool, clicked. Anybody has any questions, please type in the chat box, or you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask.
We got one question, that what is the difference between Montessori and Reggio Emilia approach? See,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Molimika, if you want to go ahead, please.
No, please go ahead.
Okay.
No worries.
Montessori. Montessori is a structured-based curriculum, okay? And Reggio Emilia is child-centric curriculum. That the curriculum is totally dependent, as I shared with you, interest of the child. Okay, there is no academic structure. That's why we are blending that curriculum, Reggio Emilia, with our academic curriculum. That is the major difference.
Thanks,
Okay.
Sonal. I'll take the next one. So timing of the course and duration, it's 4 hours. It's the 4 hours is the total duration of the course for you to complete it. Okay. Mehak, do you have any questions for us?
You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
You're unable to unmute, is it? Okay, let me just check the hosts 1 second. Please try and unmute now, if you can, Mehak. Yeah, okay, great.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for such an amazing insight into the approach, Reggio Emilia. I just wanted to ask if this course is recognized around the globe or not, because I am a teacher in Qatar.
Okay. So Skoolhouse is a global platform, to answer your question, and this certificate is issued by Skoolhouse. And if I'm not mistaken, we have a couple of schools which are running in Qatar at the moment, which is organized and run by Skoolhouse team.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehak. Any more questions that we would love to take and answer those? We have one more question. So Aisha has asked, ma'am, the self-paced program price is a special offer, or we can register later month and the price remains the same. Well, this is a special offer, Aisha, to answer your question, because that particular, we are actually getting more advanced learnings as well. So more advanced courses would be launched too. So this particular would not be visible on the website for a long time. So I think sooner the better is what my answer would be. Is there any certificate for this webinar too, Tanvi? No. We do not have any participation certificate for this particular session. Thank you so much for your participation, though. I mean, that matters a lot, but we want people to actually go through and get the validated certificate through the formal course that you can complete, which will enable you to actually showcase and will have some credibility there. Your participation, of course, makes a difference, and I hope that you have learned and it has been insightful for all of you. So I was kind of enlightened with a lot of information this evening. We do have a question from Vijay Singh. So Vijay has a question. Please tell the meaning of Reggio Emilia. I think it is a name of a person, educationist, scientist.
No, it is a place in Italy. Okay. So actually, after World War II, the people over there, the educators and the parents came together and they have given the name to this philosophy, Reggio Emilia. Okay. So it is a place. And that's why the name of this philosophy is the same.
How to make Reggio Emilia approach meaningful within fixed syllabus. Sonal, you can take that.
Okay, so here, as we are sharing that we are having some academic curriculum, okay? So we can have a particular time for our children. So generally our preschool runs for 3 to 3.5 hours. So 1 hour just for our children exploration we can have, where child can observe. So here we have to pick, it is not a structured curriculum, right? So we need to pick a particular thing because in India we run about monthly basis curriculum are there, or we have a particular topic is there that vegetable, as I shared one that when I was with a renowned organization, so monthly topics were there. So that we need to blend that how this thing can go ahead with the children. So we can pick from Reggio Emilia, we have to give a dedicated time, 1 hour, and that frankly speaking, it is not going to justify that also. But here we can pick a topic, let the children explore in that hour. That we can do the blending and where the curriculum is going to help you out. That particular hour you have set and the rest part is for our academics.
Thank you, Sonal. Self-paced, so Aisha has a question, ma'am. Self-paced course require any documentation or evidence of teaching? No, absolutely not. You can be anybody who can go through the self course. We have, a lot of people who are homeschooling their child, especially in the early years, and they prefer to go through the formal certification, although they do not come from a teaching background, just to make sure that they are aligned with the thought process of Reggio and what Reggio has to offer. Because what we have done in the self-paced, the asynchronous training, why it is, I think there are a couple of things which is very, very critical for you to understand, that you can go back and forth and you have that video with you to fall back on any point of time rather than a live training. Live training, you cannot record it. That's one. Second, it is followed by an examination just to make sure that you are able to understand thoroughly. If you are not doing well in that exam, okay, I'm sure you will do. If just in case if you're not doing well, you can reappear again after watching the video. So there is no limitations to make sure that you're completely, in sync with the thought of what Reggio has to talk about, especially how we Skoolhouse team has designed. Just to give you an insight and a background, so we Skoolhouse team, the core team who take care of curriculum designing, implementation, they're based out of US. They're working very closely with, globally renowned educators. And you'll be surprised, some people have been into education for 60 years, 65 years. They have spent their life researching, understanding what early childhood education means, how impactful it is, especially for a child who is below the age group of 6. So in Reggio Emilia, the curriculum that what we provide, we have 3-parter to it, which is infancy, toddlers, and preschoolers. So we have designed age appropriately, all the activities. Of course, we are not expecting a kid of a 1-year-old to do an activity. So those are meant for the caregivers. That can be grandparents. That can be daycare. If you're running a daycare for that matter, you can implement those. And every part, what we have is a precisely explained, well explained, what is the activities all about, what is the prompt, what is the focus, and what is the outcome. So the documentation is end to end for you to monitor and see the significant changes, the before and after, which is apart from you being teachers, educators, the parents are also very I would say thrilled to know what happened. How did my child do? What did went wrong? Especially these days, these monitoring and observations, milestones, these records are very, very important because we hear a lot of news about, uh, child with ADHD issues, speech delay issues. We hear a lot of kids and in depression. I mean, when we were a kid, we didn't know what is a depression, but it's very unfortunate. These are part and parcel of life. We like it or not, no matter we close our eyes, these are, facts and figures that has to be addressed, and it addresses and cures at very, very basic level from the childhood. Okay, so we have, is the certification valid for any specific years similar to eligibility tests? We have no, no, no. It is for early years, educators, not specific to any particular age specific. Yeah. Please do fill out the form that's in the link for claiming your certificates. Of course, after you fill the form, so it directly helps you to kind of land up on the Skoolhouse homepage. You fill out that, and you can go ahead and take the tests, watch the videos, and then you can go ahead there. Okay. We have already overshot the time. We'll just open the floor and keep it open for another next few minutes. If you have any questions, please do feel free to unmute yourself. I have enabled the mute version, so you should be able to unmute and ask questions. If you're uncomfortable or you're traveling or you're busy, you can feel free to put it in the chat as well if you have any questions. And also, if you would like a tour of the platform where you understand what Skoolhouse are about, what syllabus, how it can help you, how it can well fit into you, and mix in the current. Prasanjit is asking for a feedback form. I'm not really sure what you mean by feedback, but if you have any particular feedback or anything that you want to talk about this particular session, feel free to write in the chat, or you can fill out the certificate. I'm sorry, you can fill out the form, and we will connect with you on a one-on-one call, and we will definitely love to hear what's your take on this particular session. Can you add phonics training certification on your platform? Thank you so much, Amrita. We do get that request very, 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 very often. And I wish we can have that. But we are in discussion with a couple of organizations who have phonics training. But phonics training cannot be, kind of completed in an hour's time. It's a time-taking process. And I mean, it will be just a magic if I say that you can learn phonics in an hour. So we will definitely, it's a long ongoing process, but yes, I'll take that to the team. I'll take that feedback to the team, Amrita. Thank you so much. Any more questions in there? See, we school, spending time with the team, understanding what they do, how they do. Academics is something which they do not want to emphasize in the early years. They have numeracy, they have literacy, everything is part of their curriculum, on the day-to-day curriculum. But that is not the main agenda. The 5 observations I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the call, the 5 observations that Reggio from age 0 until age 6 that has been observed and documented in terms of milestones for the kids. So that is based on their physical development and brain development, 2 separate, age appropriately. This should be the height, this should be the weight, this should be the actions, this should be the expressions, this should be the communication skills. That's absolutely elaborately, precisely given in there. Apart from that, it has a lot of emphasis on fine motor skills, gross motors, cognitive. So all those things are very, very, very important, which has to be monitored on a regular basis. Okay, so Abrita, I teach children online after school hours, okay? And I am into teacher training too. Fantastic. Phonics certification will help me to become certified. Of course, we would definitely like to take that in consideration, Amrita, but this is something that it's not immediately possible, but definitely we'll take that forward. How is IB early years curriculum different from Reggio? Sonal, would you like to take that, or would you like me to answer that?
Yeah. See, IB curriculum, see, it is again, a structured curriculum is there because we are responsible for the overall growth of a child, right? Including the academics. Reggio, again, it's child-centric, means the curriculum is flexible. It can be tailored as per the child interest. Okay, so both the parameters, they are different. In IB, assessments are, we are observing the children, how they are doing that activity, correct? And here, the flexibility is given to children. That's why the assessments are through your portfolios, what the children work are there. We captures their moment, their photographs, their video, that how child is interested or showing a particular growth in a particular field. So that is one difference. You can add, Molabika, more to that.
See, most of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sonal, and rest of the teachers, educators in the house, I am not an early years certified teacher, so I have a very less knowledge about that. But what I know, I've seen, Cambridge, IB, I've seen IC curriculum. Those are frameworks. And they give you the external structure of how typically it works there. And couple of things which is important, and what School has, kind of precisely designed, or I would say their forte is, they have given you the activities which can help you to plug in the gaps. Say, for example, an IB gives you that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this is just supposed to be done. So there is a circle time, there is a feeding time, there is a, something. Okay, so I have some AI issues, which is, it's raising my hand automatically. Okay, see, we're all in technology these days. So those framework is given in there, wherein you're expected to do a circle time. Then you have the nap time, their lunch time, their outdoor exploration. But what exactly that has to be done? School has defined that well. So they have given you the framework, plus how exactly that you can plug in those gaps, doing the activities. Either you want to do an entire month program of activities. Say, for example, you can have a theme of water. For an entire month, you can follow water as an activity, and you can, starting from, I would say, shapes and forms of water. So it's taking care of your ice, your boiling point, liquid form, all those things, how it is implemented, I would say, what is the benefits of water, what is not benefits, water bodies, then learning about more of water animals. So it's all about water for that matter. And there are bite sizes program, which can be implemented just maybe in a week's time or in a month's time. So those are much more smaller, but very, very, very well defined. In the initial phase, they actually specify what are the materials that is required. And trust me, guys, when I mean it, I really, really mean it, that I have seen all kind of curriculums. Only Reggio, okay, only Schoolhouse, they have defined it, but only Reggio is the only curriculum which does not emphasizing on very, very fancy materials for your activities. They always take which is easily available at home, easily available at, maybe just a Kirana store or a stationery shop, or maybe in an Amazon. So this is something which is, so for colors, they use fruits. They'll have a fruit day. They'll ask me to make a fruit salad and identify the colors for the child. So this is something which is very easily implementable, and it is very, very pocket friendly, especially when, the parents are already overburdened paying so many things and taking care of so many activities for the child. So, Priya has a question. As you mentioned, this approach is around child's interest and is flexible. Can you elaborate with few examples on how to identify this interest while following the regular structured curriculum? Okay. And we have one more question. I don't know if we can blend it. So how can we introduce Reggio in a class of 20 to 25 students, being a child-centric approach, as each child is an individual, different, and each other from different needs? That's a beautiful question, Gurpreet.
Okay, so so here, as I introduced to you, we have to offer children open-ended material. Okay, open-ended material, different types of material, provoking materials. So in every classroom, there are explorers, there are different type of children are there, right? So those children, you will see that they are going to pick different material, and they are going to work in groups. So there we can come to know about the children potential, because every child is different, every child is unique, what we are talking about. So what material they pick, and a role of us giving information to them, and then having inquiry that what you're going to do from this. Okay, you have prepared this thing, why do you think it is going in this way? So their inquiry comes, and there we will come to know that what the child is thinking, and what is their final product is, they want, in which direction they want to move. So every child will come up in their own way, and they're going to pick the different materials. So mostly material selection, Reggio is all about materials, provoking material, give them open-ended material. Every child, unique way, they are going to show us. Now, activities as you shared with me. So suppose how to blend that activity. So here this month I have roads of mode of transportation is there. Okay, so let's children go in front of a window. We are standing there, and different vehicles are passing. Oh, did you observe that that was a scooter? Did you observe that that was a car? Did you observe how many tires the car was having? Which color car it was? So like that, Reggio is giving, it's not about the book knowledge. Give them a real environment knowledge. So there the children are going to explore. And right now you're teaching them about the mode of transport. Some children will be looking at the sky. Okay, so they will say, teacher, the cloud is in which shape? Okay, you are cloud, which shape you are able to recognize. So the correlation comes. Do you know that when you are talking about sky, which vehicle means which are the which transportation takes place in air? So I know, I have been a part of a plane, I have experienced that. So like that, questions we can relate with the environment, your topic as well as the environment, plug in with your Reggio curriculum.
Hope that answers your question. Yeah. Thank you for those wonderful questions. You guys have been an amazing audience this evening. We'll just take the last question for the evening, please. I'll request all of you to fill out the Get Reggio Emilia certificate form for your interest, and to further get a certified stamped certificate which you can use, which you can flaunt, which you can use, and you can actually execute and do such activities. I mean, why delay? You just learn it today and you can implement it tomorrow in your classroom. It's that effective, actually. It's that easy to understand and implement in the classroom, regardless of whatever current curriculum, whatever current exposure to early childhood that you have. You can try it with your kids at home. Yeah. So interested for curriculum? Yes, if you are interested to know about curriculum, if you're interested to associate with us as a partner. So apart from the curriculum, you also get a certificate of association which specify your school names, which obviously gives you the credibility of, of official partnership with the Skoolhouse India. Apart from that, if you have any Reggio certificate that you're looking for, please do fill out. We'll just give it a minute or two.
Also, Malvika, like if we can also showcase the 5-hour course as well.
Of course. Thank you so much, Ayan, for reminding me that. So one of, I think Manvi asked that question that, or I think Aisha asked that question, that how far and how many days that you have access to that exclusive offer. Very few, actually, because we are switching over to another, which is Mastering the Reggio. That's a 5-hour course, and that is on little expensive side. Here you go. I'm just sharing my screen. Hope it's visible now. So this is the upcoming certification plus training course that we have introduced. So the one which you are witnessing, that's 4 hours at obviously close to 2K, to 2.5K. And this is a little over 4,000. So this is inclusive of GST. This is a 5-hour module, and the topics that it covers is, apart from the one which we have witnessed, which is again, history of Reggio Emilia, the image of a child, the environment as a third teacher, documentation, community, and collaboration. So this is the upcoming one which we are going to launch. we have launched already, but it will be visible very, very soon in terms of our marketing and advertising. Thank you so much, Ayan, for reminding that. If you have any questions, further questions, you can type in or you can connect with me and my team for a one-on-one discussion. We'll love to give you a tour of the platform if you would like have more insight, more understanding of how you can implement at your school, how you can implement at your home with your kids. We'd love to answer and support you with that. Wrapping up for the evening. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very, very much for being such a patient listener and being with us all throughout and making this a very, very successful event for the evening. We look forward to work with you. We look forward to connect. Even if you do not want to purchase anything, you can always reach out to us. You can always ask questions. You can always clarify your doubt. We are all educators, and I think we are supporting each other. And the entire idea, the end goal is to make a bright future for our kids who have all the, I would say, accessibility to all kind of international curriculum and exposure to the global education. So signing off, thank you so much. Have a lovely evening ahead. Thank you, Sonal. Thank you, Ayan, for helping out. Thank you.